Hello everyone, this is James Shore with another test-driven JavaScript video. I'm recording this on March 25th, 2013, and we're picking up right where we left off in the last episode. What we're working on in this chapter is abstraction and design and object-oriented programming and all kinds of really good stuff. And what we just finished in the last episode was moving all of our mouse and single-touch event creation code into our DOM element abstraction. And this has really resulted in some nice code in our tests. Now, whenever we're doing something on an element, we just use that element and we tell it what we're going to do with it. And that reads nice and clean. And the most important thing here is it's allowing us to get rid of a lot of code. For example, this function looks like it's not necessary anymore. So let's make sure all our tests are passing, and bam, we can get rid of it. And that is great. And in DOM element, you can see it's actually quite clean. It's really, really nice. We've got basically all of the different types of functions calling into the touch event and mouse event functions. In this episode, what I'd like to do is just continue that effort with the multi-touch event handlers. So we've got our multiple touch start here. I'd like to move over our send multi-touch event code. And that relies mostly on our single touch event code as well. So I think that will work. Or I think that'll be fairly easy to do. All right, let's start by moving this over, multiple touch start. That should be pretty straightforward. We'll just come over here, put it down at the bottom of our single touch stuff, and we'll call it DOM element.prototype.multiple. Okay, that's fairly straightforward. Now we just need to bring over our send multi-touch event. And that requires send touch event, which we've already got, and send touch list, or create touch list, which we don't already have. And send touch event has changed because we've already brought it over once. And where is it? Send touch event, self event touch list. So here we need to have self event touch list. We don't need jQuery element, which means we don't need it here, but we do need self here, which means we need it here. That should not work. I was expecting it to work. Oh, this should be this. And then on line 58, we need this to be this dot element or self dot element. And this to be self dot element. But actually, create touch just takes self and page offset. So that will be that. Then drawing area is not defined on line 58. That's going to be self. That's going to be self. Okay, good. That lints. Now we should be able to use it. And fingers crossed, I hope that works. Ah, it does. Excellent. Now we can do the exact same thing for move and end. So start, move, end. That should work. I'm not using it. And then start, move, end. And that should just work. And it does. Excellent. That means we're no longer using send multi-touch event. We're no longer using send touch event or create touch list or create touch. I love deleting code. Excellent. Let's check that in. All right, now let's go into DOM element and clean this stuff up. We've got this going through, that's fairly clean. Send multi-touch event. I noticed this duplication of self and self.page offset here. Let's clean this up a bit. We're going to have send mouse event down at the bottom. Now we've got send single touch event, send multi-touch event, create touch list, create touch. What I notice is that our call to create touch always has us doing this duplicate self.page offset. So what that tells me is that we can just move, we can abstract that through or factor that out. We can just pass in relative x and relative y and have create touch actually do the creation of the page offset. And then here, we'll just pass it through. That should still work. Missing a semicolon on line 102. Let's try that again. Ah, excellent, excellent. Here we can just inline that. Here, this is weird, create touch list, and we're only using it here. We're not using it here, and it's simpler just to construct the touch list. So don't need that. It's exactly the same. We're never passing a null touch B in. Yep. So now we can inline that, get rid of it entirely. Yep. And now we're passing it through here. And this is pretty nice. Great. Let's banish it to the bottom. It's done. Does that all still work? It does. Excellent. Now the other thing I noticed when I look at this is we have this select start, mouse down, mouse move, and then on select start. I'd like to rename all these so they're more consistent. So let's do that. Let's call this on select start, or not on, duh. Hope I didn't screw that up. No. Okay. Do select start. Do mouse down, mouse move, and let's call this single touch start. So it's more consistent with the on naming convention. And here, let's call it multi rather than multiple. There. And that should all work. Excellent. I love this code. It's really coming along. Really coming along. Awesome. Okay, I think we've cleaned up DOM element. Now let's go into client test and clean it up. We don't need this. Inline that, inline that, inline that. We'll move these functions over later. We're going to want to make a Raphael abstraction. But I don't think we'll do that in this chapter because this chapter is getting a bit long. We've moved the multi-touch event creation functions to client test. Excellent. We're going to need to test this puppy. But I think we want to finish cleaning up client test first. So let's go ahead and look at that. We've got, what do we have here? Got this old drawing area. I'd like to get rid of that. let's see if we can do that. Everything else, really liking the way this is reading. Could use a cleanup pass, but overall I think we're doing really well. These numbers on document body don't make so much sense now, but I don't know that that's a big deal. Okay. Yeah, let's go through and search for old drawing area, get rid of it everywhere we can. Here, we can just use the new on mouse down function. That's going to take the offset and the event. That should still work. Yes. Same thing here, drawing area dot on, select start. This doesn't actually take the event. We need to fix that. So DOM element dot on select start should work the same way as other mouse event handlers. But we'll take that next. Oops, what did I do wrong? It's not working. On select start. Oh, it's called IE8 only. Got the wrong name. There, that should work now. Okay, let's keep searching for old drawing area. This can be drawing area on single touch start. And that takes an offset and an event. Good. And that's that. Okay, we still need to get rid of this and this. That's a little bit trickier, so let's go ahead and modify on select start to work the way as our other mouse event handlers. That should cause everything to break because that passes different functions through. Yes, it does. That's okay. On select start. And there it is. There. Okay, we are getting really close to being done with this. We still need to finish getting rid of the old drawing area code, and we need to get some tests set up around our DOM element. We also need to finish getting rid of old drawing area in client test. That's what we'll pick up with next time. We are getting really close here, and I'm loving this code. It is really coming along nicely. So that is it for this time. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. I will catch you next time.